back to Everyone Needs an Aquarius. We are back. What has been going on, Dom?
Just another day. Just taking life a day at a time because sometimes you have to. But I will say I did step out to celebrate my birthday this past week.
Finally. So what'd you do?
I just went to this spot called Damn I Miss Paris with some friends and had drinks and then to my black ass home and got in the bed. Something just low key last year of my 30s and actively looking for a career change out of the school aggressively.
Yes, aggressively. Yes.
Aggressively. I can't live my life like this, like being this tired. And so working on my reel, getting that updated with stuff, and I am that's all I got. Like that's all I got for you. How are you? How was your week?
I'm good. I can't complain, man. I mean, it is what it is. Everything's been chill.
Everything is just weird.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do too much this past weekend, man. I got to get up with Janae. Shout out to my homegirl Janae.
I was about to say Aiko.
No,
sorry.
No. Be a different situation.
Okay.
Okay. Oh wow! Somebody just gave bro Rilla a brand new set of like a grill.
Bro Rilla or Glow Rilla?
Bro Rilla.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, she got a whole new teeth set like her sister. So you know, I go really got her teeth done. Somebody redid her teeth now too. She's exacerbated this situation. This is extension. She's done an extension with this one of like clout chasing on this, and it's worked for whatever reason.
Because people are always going to find things to not like about you, regardless if you are. Because like, really think about it. Glorilla really is not in the middle of controversy like that. Mm-hmm. Outside of like the DUI. I mean, people were fighting at the concert in St. Louis, but hey, that's St. Louis. But outside of that, she's really kind of not really in the middle of things like that per se. At least it's to my knowledge. But also, I guess I'm an auntie now, so I'm only tapped in so much. But I would think that I was tapped in enough because we do have a pop culture podcast, and you're also muted. But I say all that to say that I saw this clip of Miss Pat on the Shannon Sharp show. Uh-oh. And she was talking it's on topic and it makes sense. She said that her brother hit her up for like $1,000 or something. And she was like, what are you going to do with this money? He said, I'm going to invest it. She's like, you know how to invest? He's like, yeah. She's like, you don't know nothing about investing. He's like, yeah, I do. I'm a buy a house. She was like, with $1,000? Nigga, you can't buy no house with $1,000.
Hey, shout out to you for that clip. $2,000. That's all that's the same thing that you said.
Because I was coming to say it.
Yeah, I knew.
2,000 US American dollars.
And that gets you all square.
And so she ends up pretty much saying no. And she says, I my husband is retired. We have one income. I have 4 children in my house. I cannot afford to fuck up my shit to take care of everybody else. That happens to all these other people. What happens when y'all use all of my assets and stuff? I'm gonna be right down there in the gutter with y'all. I don't want to be. And so she said her brother turned around and asked her for $10,000. She's like, no, like get the fuck off my phone, pretty much, because you are able-bodied. She said my brother, I guess, was notoriously known for like being on drugs and things. She's like, I'm not funding your habit. I'm not funding anything for you. Go get a damn job. So go get a job.
Yeah, shout out to bro Rilla for getting some new teeth. But hey, everybody, make sure y'all hit up our voicemail for the whole network. You can hit us up, give us your thoughts, questions, whatever you want to do. 314-649-3113. All right, Dom. We finally can talk about it. America's Next Top Model. A lot of people were in the clip before talking about when you were like, I went far. I didn't answer them because I didn't know what to say about that because that was your story. So let's talk about the documentary. You can talk about things you experienced along the lines with the auditioning process too, because that's what people are asking about on TikTok.
Yeah, I went. Okay, so when I said I got far, let me correct that because I want people. I got far.
No, nobody was challenging you like on.
Yeah, I was like, I went far when I went to Champagne. Like, I had a bitch there all day and night. Okay, that's what I mean. Not. I went to somewhere else and it was all these other rounds. No, it was nothing like that at all. So I want to clarify that.
Yeah.
That's not what happened in Champagne. You know what? I'm gonna let you lead this conversation because I'm interested to see what your thoughts are. Are we aligned as Aquariusers?
Mm-hmm. Now,
because this is the list.
And you know what? I already know what you think because I know you. We know each other well. Both things can be true at the same time. That's what I thought about this.
Okay, so we have a 3-part docuseries that comes out about the, historic America's Next Top Model, which was a competition show, a modeling competition show that would land a girl a modeling contract with one of the top agencies in the, in the world or country, a contract with CoverGirl and prize money, pretty much. And we learned in this documentary what all was happening behind the scenes at this show. One thing that I think that my sister and I were always aware of was that they kind of preyed on some of the insecurities of a lot of the young lady. And I'm gonna say the majority of people. It is, I think it was a reality show first, and the modeling was just another added layer bonus to it, right? If I could be completely honest, just based on some of the things that we would see, a lot of the challenges for the week. It read that it was a show first, and then modeling came kind of second.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, people are finally speaking about their experiences and how this happened, which is absolutely correct. Is when people were home during the pandemic, Hulu picked up the show and everybody is watching it cover to cover because they don't have nothing else to do. So they are watching it through the eyes of present times versus how TV was back then.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue with a lot of this is people want Tyra to apologize, to be accountable. And we really don't get that from her in this documentary. And we learn so much in the documentary from fellow judges. We learned that Miss J has had a stroke, had to learn to walk, had to learn to talk again. Tyra never reached out to him, though she had known him since she was about 16 years old. We learned that Miss J, actually, Mr. J tried to leave, and because of his contract, he had to stay and ultimately would be fired, along with Miss J and Nigel Barker, who were kind of the bread and butter of the show, if we can keep it a buck. And just the all around toxicity that's happening there. So that is the premise of this documentary. So Daryl, you had the floor.
A lot of this stuff that was happening with the models was fucked up, no doubt. But I thought that shit always happened with all models. Like, yeah. I know that sounds fucked up and it should not happen. But I didn't think this was nothing different than what I've heard happens for the Ford models and all these different things for decades and years, which I said is not right. But on the flip side, Tyra Banks has no fucking accountability at all for shit.
Because she's a Sagittarius.
Yeah, I know. But low key, she could have kept them all on there if she wanted to, because the show, I'm like, fuck it, I'm walking too then. I'm talking when she was supposed to have fired all them too. The show wouldn't have been the show without her.
Yeah.
If she would have walked, that show would have failed, and they know it too. And that's why I know she was on some bogus shit for that. Because she could have walked too and be like, fuck it. It's American Idol. It's me. My face is on there every fucking beginning of the thing. No. You think you're gonna be able to rebrand it after what, 13 cycles or whatever the fuck it was, 15 cycles?
It was like by that time it was 19.
Yeah, no way she did not flex the power. She wanted to get rid of some of them too, maybe.
No, I think so. Like Jay said,
lying. Or I'm gonna say she's lying. She didn't fight for them like she could have.
No, absolutely. And I think part of it too is just like, knowing that Mr. J wanted to leave, and how things were edited. Again, he didn't look innocent either. The only one you couldn't say anything kind of bad about was Nigel, the photographer, Nigel Barker, because how things were said or faces were made by even Miss J. So I will say this from my knowledge of, like, because Tyra has spoken about this on her talk show. I know that Tyra is very thrifty, like in a way, like cheap.
She was a executive producer on there too, right?
She's an executive producer. By this time, you're not modeling yourself anymore for real. Like you scaling back because a lot of models know, like, if you watch Kimura's show, because Kimura was on the first season. Now I'll be interested to see why she left, or if they just didn't renew her contract.
Or is that around the time she got that? No, I was gonna say this. Is that when she got her first reality show, the one with her and Russell Simmons, like Hustle Simmons, whatever that was, though? Where
I don't know. We'll have to see the.
I don't think. I think it was a little bit after that. I think it might have been. I think that might have been mid 2000s or something.
But maybe. You know what? I could be wrong. I think she might have been pregnant on that show, that first season.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, she might have been pregnant.
Okay, so maybe that's why she kind of fell back.
But Kimura is also very, very, you gotta have another hustle outside of modeling, because they will kick you out at any age. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the next hot thing will come in. So that's something that the conversation that she's having with her kids now. And ultimately, I think that what we see happen is Tyra trying to be very anti-industry, trying to change the standard, but also falling in alignment with the industry and the industry standards.
I agree.
So it's like, and this is why we call them Sagittarius. Because how are you going to say that and then turn around and do the same things? But it's interesting because when you talk to some of the winners, like Danny, for example, the girl from Arkansas, and she's one of the two girls that they do the cosmetic surgery on, the dental for her gap.
She needed that gap fixed, though. Can we all say that?
I don't, but see, here's the thing. That's not true. You had Alex Weck had a gap.
When was that? When did Alex Weck come out?
It wasn't just her. It was another girl that kind of.
I'm just saying the timeline of when these people came out is what I'm saying.
Alex Weck is by this time is out in modeling. Like, okay, Alex Weck is. I don't know the modeling world. It's other models that have the gap, and Nigel Barker was very pro gap the entire time. He kept saying, I don't think that she needs to close the gap. I think it's beautiful. But I think he might have had a little thing for Danny because she, cute girl. He was very pro Danny. And I remember that vividly. With Joni did have that like extra tooth that needed to be, it was like an overlapping tooth on, she had crowding. And for Danny, you do feel bad because she has this contract and you learn that she's living in a model house with a great Chanel.
What if DLC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the game never leaves G-Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Is.
Mine, and they're good friends, and she's not even going on go see. She's not getting any.
I mean, think about the making of the band people, and like remember the group, the band that Diddy made, where nobody was taking them seriously because they were on that show.
Yeah, it was a different time. I think if it was now, and the way that the industry is set up now, I think it would be different
because you have more of the people that you can understand. Then though, some people don't. It was, I wouldn't say gatekeepers, but it was more tastemakers. They're like, nah, nigga, we don't fuck with that.
It was definitely more gatekeeping for sure. Absolutely.
But I'm saying that we just don't mess with that reality TV show shit, period.
Yeah, I think it was a different time. But then so
look at Cardi B. She came from a reality TV show.
Yeah, but by now it's a different time. So we have the Kardashian effect, like everybody.
Cardi B couldn't have blew up 15 years ago from being on a reality show.
Right. And then you
No, I say 20. I say 20 because she came out around 2010, 2013 or something, right?
Whenever, yeah, and it might actually, I think it might have been later. She was later because that's a pretty much a different cast than the OG cast of Love.
Of Living Hip Hop New York, yeah.
But I will say this, so to hear her story, and then for Chanel, you might kind of have to look out for her and say, what's going on? Like, she's been sitting in this apartment all day, and the model apartment, like, you have to pay for that. That's not free. And so
2015 is when she debuted on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, I'm like, I knew it was like a little later.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you find out that the agency is like, she won a reality show, so we have to treat her different, when unfortunately this was a game-changing moment where ultimately it doesn't, you see, and I need to but also this is fast forward, this is a different time, but not that much time. Because look at Kendall Jenner. Kendall Jenner is also from a reality TV show, and is one of the top billed models.
Yeah.
And so that's always the idea. Because even when you look at Danny, still look young. Kenya still look young. For the most part, some of the girls that you could tell that are still active or at least interested in modeling. They kept up with themselves. They kept themselves up. But because part of me is like, it's TV. It was TV. Yeah. And that's why I said this show to me always appeared.
So a question for you then with that. How was Yaya and Eva and Takara able to pop off? And then even the first plus size model one, she jumped off too. How were they able to piggyback and do their thing, and everybody else kind of got left in the dust?
I think you had to,
and even before you go, people go look at those other competitive reality TV shows. If you didn't win the motherfucker, you did not nobody heard from you unless you pressed on and did some other shit. It wasn't just like when people are like, oh, I had to go back working at rallies. Everyone in them competition reality shows is built like that. They don't come behind you and like follow up to make sure you okay. That's just the nature of the business.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things where you really have to And I'm not gonna say those girls didn't want it. You got to figure out how to make a way for yourself. And I think that's one of the things that people are, because the industry still gatekeep to this day, and people are figuring out ways to make a name and a way for themselves. And so I think that, because like the thing that people were saying about Eva, for example, they were saying that Eva was managed by Benny Medina, who manages Tyra and Tyra. Now, I don't know how true that is. And it very well might be true. It's like, so that helped. But see, what Eva was saying was, I'm more than just top model. This was just a stepping stone for me. I was going to figure it out one way or another. Like she said, I was shorter, but, I'm 5'7". The average model, like, female model is, like 5'9", maybe, at least for a runway. I think at minimum the girls have to be like 5'9". But
that's what made Eva like the special girl, because she was 5'7".
Yes, and they would tell her that like you have to do stuff that makes you elongate yourself. You have to, like they gave her like a lot of tips, and it was the same thing with Yaya. Because I don't know if Yaya was that much taller than Eva. At least that's how it read on film. But ultimately, I think it was just, that was the thing. Yaya came in saying that she was going to be more than just a model. Like that could not just be her thing. And I think as Black people, and they kept trying to break her down over this, so they really couldn't get to her.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing too with Yaya. I believe they were just like, she was so overly confident or whatever. But it was just like, when you grow up in a certain household, that's just what it is. What you talking, that big bullshit that you talking is nothing to me. You can't break my soul. And so she was able to spin that and to do other stuff. And so she was like, okay, well, if modeling isn't going to be my avenue, I know I can act. I took theater, I took dance, I did all these other things. So I'm going to allow my talents to speak for itself and do something about it. You had so many other girls that were able to pivot and do something else, and stretch that 15 minutes of fame. And for some girls, it was just, I need to use this platform to get my face out there, and I need to move on with my life because I'm gonna be able to finesse this. And people probably, I think by that time, like they showed Winnie Harlow, and my sister was like, I didn't even know Winnie Harlow was on there. I said, yeah, by that time I wasn't watching it, but yeah, I'm like, because I remember the controversy with her was they kept trying to say that she was adding vitiligo scars. I remember seeing a clip on something on social media, and
wow.
I was like, y'all are doing too much. But it was just people, other girls in the competition hating. And so I will say this, like, how they was complaining, like, oh, our photos, like agencies, they would look at our book and they wouldn't be able to. They was like, oh, these are overly done. Like it was like Tyra knew that they wouldn't be able to. We wouldn't be able to use these photos. Okay, go get other photos. And even still, it's not like come to this agency. Agencies want to see you raw. They want to see you raw. And I remember one time Jeff and I went to open call, and Jeff was like, why did you come done up? Like you should have just came with no makeup on. And I was like, I didn't think about that. And he would, because I think, and I might have been about to go to work. So I'm like trying to dress for also going to work.
You trying to do both. You trying to double duty.
Okay. And then they was like, Jeff was like, yeah, you can't go in like that or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. So, but even now, like when you go, it's the same thing. If you're going to submit, white background, tank top, jeans, or leggings, little to no makeup, or whatever. You don't have to have a book. But you can have like basic, you can take it on your phone. And back then it was like you could use a Polaroid. They would take pictures of you. They still do that. They do Polaroids at a lot of those agencies. And so I think that you just kind of have to, okay, this is what you told me. Okay, cool. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go get my digital camera. I'm gonna take pictures, have a friend take pictures of me or whatever, or I'm just gonna come out this shit. This is, I can do the work. This is over the top, but here I am stripped down, and you got to keep pushing. Because to me, I was like, I said, Kenya is still has a jawline. She's still cute enough now. I don't care about them green contacts, but you could go and land a deal and and go talk to somebody, even if it's not one of the big 5. There's an agency that would take Kenya. There's an agency that I'm pretty sure that would take Danielle. But I think part of it too is just we have to be understanding about how things are for people that look like us sometimes.
But I think the thing was that people were like, "Oh, Tyra supposed to be looking out for folks more, though." That's the thing, and I can get that to a certain extent. But on the same side, you got to run your own race.
Yeah, and that's and I think that's the difference between some of the other girls and the girls that are still actively working.
Like, and I'm just what's the sister that was with the Chanel? Is that Danielle? That one? I'm just figuring out why she didn't try to hit up even do some urban stuff more, like let me get in this Meth and Redman video, or something like that, where I'm the
kind of
girl,
like what Tyra did,
just to get some others, because when I'm hot, I need to get in the new Mario video. I'm just thinking
because if you think about,
she was just waiting for them just to give her.
That's what let's be clear about Eva. That Cover Girl campaign ran for a long time, but Eva is consistently in black spaces. You have a black show on BET that's been on BET.
What you call it? Yaya was too.
Yaya, and then she had
the car ended up hosting some shows on BET.
But you kind of gotta. The only person that I would say, you had Eugenia when she won. She ended up doing Playboy, but then she also did South Pole. She had a campaign with them. So you got to kind of figure out how to navigate in there, those spaces. And so, I know that people look down upon certain things that we do, but you got bills to pay. You don't want to go home. This might not be Saint Laurent, but if Essence is calling you, Essence is the Black Vogue.
Or why don't you make the call? It's me, Danielle, the girl that won. Oh, word! I want next time. Y'all have anything y'all want? I want to work with y'all. Is anything y'all got that's available?
Yeah, but it's putting yourself.
I'm in New York. I can be down to the office downtown about 2. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Let me meet with, because Suzanne was still over. Suzanne, I want to hang out. Well, she would definitely take a meeting. She had just won. I'm just saying you could need to put yourself out there.
That's true, and that is absolutely true. I will say that,
and that's just a little hustler mentality, though. That's just a hustler's mentality.
But you also know we from a different place, so but you can't spell without hustle.
I can see myself sitting there. I just won a reality show and everything. I'm popping, and I'm just sitting in my apartment waiting for Ford to book me for something, or what was it, Ford?
Maybe I will be outside everywhere in New York, just like.
Look, if anything, I'm gonna get a cocaine habit at the minimum because I'm gonna be out.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I will be out that visible. I'm saying I'm trying to work myself in general. I'm hot, especially in the 2000s.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like you said, you kind of. So you know how you would have a socialite, and socialites, you really wasn't sure what they did, but you knew they would be outside. Socialites were the first influencers, and so especially being in a place
she could have got her a ball player by that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
In New York, she hustling backwards.
Yeah.
Now that's not proper pussy management. I'll say that. At the minimum.
Let me say this real quick. And this is off topic. Daryl, my winter color has set in. I need to be at the beach. I looked at my leg yesterday and how yellow it was. And I said, "Oh, my summer glow has finally fully." Like, yeah, I get a little color because I put a little color on my face. But what? Look at my neck.
Look at my neck.
Look at this. I need this. And it's going to be like 80 all week. And I'm in the classroom chasing kids, getting my ass beat.
All right, before we finish up here with the next top model. So did you hear this behind the scenes? This is supposedly supposed to be a Mrs. J documentary.
You know,
before and it got flipped somewhere because it was about him and his recovery back from the stroke and like his journey and his life, and it got flipped somehow and like 75% of production. And they was like, we could do a top model because the three guys were all in on it together for the Miss J documentary. So that all that stuff was almost filmed. That they went on the back end and asked Tyra if they saying all this shit about you. Do you want to respond? And then then somebody else got it and was like, fuck it. This is the next top model documentary.
Damn.
It originally supposed to be a Miss J documentary.
I'm not even shocked just because we know how that goes. Production all the time. And stuff changes. I think the crazy thing about all of this, I think at the end of this, it's like we know that Tyra isn't going to admit fault or anything. Like, there were certain things she said we could have handled this better, or in this moment I thought we were explaining this like this. This is how you have to respond, and I can see how it could be taken one way versus what we were trying to convey. And so, like, for example, when they talk about the whole thing with Shandy and her getting blacked out drunk and sleeping with that guy when they went to Milan, I think I was always kind of taken aback that they let them consume alcohol like that, knowing stateside that legally they could not drink. Yes, you're in another country, but you're still doing a show called America's Next Top Model that is produced in the United States where the legal drinking age is 21. I was always taken aback by that. And so I'm also wondering what all did y'all cut out? Because we saw her making out with this guy and you said that, the FCC rules changed. So we had to cut out all this. So we had to go back and hurry up and edit
put that in there. That was bogus, man. That like putting that on thing, like back on TV, like for that reunion thing. That was bogus, man.
Yeah, that was. But
bogus. At the same time, you was kissing on another dude, though. You can't be mad about what you did your own. I'm just saying on the side.
No. And I understand.
On a reality show too, you ain't even try to be sneaky with it. It wasn't like they came around the corner, you up in the closet, and they trying to find you. You all out in the middle of the pub.
Yeah, and you acknowledge that you hadn't eaten. And that's not me victim blaming or whatever.
It's not a victim. It wasn't like the dude forced himself on her either. So there's no victim. That is just a bad decision on your part. And that's what it is.
That's fair to say. Now, when I will say this.
Tyra's a dick.
And I know like Shandy wasn't that type of girl, but sometimes in order to take your power back, you got to walk away from stuff. And I think that's a tough lesson that we, at some point in all of our lives, like we learn where it is, let me just drop my shoulders and move forward. Because when she said that, I asked them not to play it, that's Tyra's show. Now, I would have loved to see
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape In Vogue, Shy, or voiced men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
Her walk off the show. You know, like I asked y'all, or when she heard like even just the sound, I would have walked off and just said, I asked y'all can do what y'all want to do. I won't be discussing this any further. This is a traumatic point in my life. And here you are trying to, trigger me again. Not interested. That chapter of my life is over. But also, and I said, but that's not what they're not a therapist. So I know a therapist would say you have to confront your past in order to move forward. Sometimes they'll tell you that, but and acknowledge this was a mistake I made. This isn't my identity. And you can't allow that to be your identity. So it's just weird because like I'm like devil's advocate. Like I said, being able to acknowledge that show was literally, it was reality TV first, and then modeling was like an afterthought for them.
Yeah.
It really was.
They need to take this, but like I said, Tyra's a dick.
But like you said, I think it's one of those things where it seems like some of them are a little bitter.
100%.
Like upset that things didn't necessarily pan out how they wanted.
My thing is like, no, when the one girl's like, I just went back to working at CVS, or Walgreens. Whose fault is that?
And I think Shandy probably could have, but she was just so meek. She was so timid. I think Shandy probably for real, because she was like tall, big ears, lanky. I think Shandy probably could have gone far.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Shandy could have gone far.
I'm just saying, at some point, your own hustle got to be involved in this at some point.
Yeah. And sometimes, we don't know. A lot of those girls had other issues that they was dealing with. So they was already jilted a little bit in different ways. But it was like I said, they couldn't break Yaya down. They couldn't break Naima down. Naima had one. And it was other girls that they couldn't get to them. And those were the girls that that went really far in the competition and or in life. Like you have people, like it goes back to how bad do you want it? Yeah. But I think now after this, I would think that they would hopefully be able to finesse that. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Well, next up, Dom, we got a Sherrone Moore update. My Sherrone. I came up that I don't know how to make it into a real segment. Sherrone Moore, the disgraced, and we mean it really disgraced former coach at University of Michigan. We have an update in his case for everybody. We were asking, like, what happened to him? Well, we got an update.
Sherrone Moore, the former University of Michigan head football coach who was all in the news in December of 2025 after he'd lost his job and caught a criminal case stemming from a workplace relationship he was having with his assistant. Well, he just got some good news regarding his criminal case. And I'm not a lawyer, but I watched the hearing, so let me give you the recap on the interesting argument his attorney made and why the judge agreed with her. For context, in case you need it, this is Sherrone Moore, this is his wife, and this was his executive assistant and his mistress. According to reports, the University of Michigan had previously investigated if Sherrone and his assistant Paige Shiver were having a relationship, but both of them denied it at the time. And then on Monday, December 8th, Paige allegedly broke up with Sherrone, and then she and her civil attorney, a woman named Heidi Sharp, went to the school's head attorney to admit this relationship. 2 days later, Sherrone was fired for violating university policy by engaging in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. And after he was fired, he then went to Paige's apartment and allegedly entered it illegally and threatened to harm himself. While
to support that statement, Shiver. The person that the complainant called was Heidi Sharp.
Go ahead. You bet your hand up, Dom.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, could we skip it ahead?
So, that's what I was doing. Yeah, I'm skipping.
Because I was gonna say, dang, I could do this quicker than her, but ultimately,
we just gonna stop out. Boom. Go
okay.
ahead.
Look. This is cool. This all goes cool.
Yep.
So ultimately, Sherrone,
my Sherrone.
Ultimately, Sherrone's attorney pushes back and says that ultimately, when the cops were called, she actually, the young lady called her attorney first, and then called. From there, the attorney called 911. In this call, it is not mentioned that they worked together. And then she also fabricated, like kind of zhuzhed up what was happening at the apartment, which led to his arrest. And so when she was saying he was harassing the young lady, she never gave any context behind that, and that simply alone was enough grounds to ultimately they want to have this thrown out. He already lost his job. He's not getting that job back. We know that. Yeah. But them not saying what the relationship was and just saying, oh, he automatically harassed her. And then when they have the text messages on file and it's no harassment, and they're going based off of these calls that were made, and it was like 20 calls back to back. Well, if you look at the hours, she's supposed to be at work. So this is my boss trying to get a hold of me during business hours. Even the text message exchange from them, it is talking about work-related things. It is nothing that is inappropriate. So that is where Sherrone's lawyer comes in and says, this is baloney. This needs to be thrown out. And blah, 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 blah. And so even the judge was like, why wouldn't you say, to her attorney, why wouldn't you say that they also had a working relationship?
He got a good lawyer then.
So he has a really good lawyer. And then, so that's where we are right now. We'll see what the update will be, but ultimately,
I don't want him doing no time. He's lost enough.
I don't think ultimately he would do time. I would think maybe he would be fined. Yeah,
he's lost enough.
Because also he did dumb shit. Let's like
the personal embarrassment here is
the nigga definitely nigged.
Look, if I'm the judge, I'm like, man, you just need to do some community service because you need to meet people. Because I'm giving you community service because you need to meet other people because nobody wants to see you. So I'm about to force you to go do some work.
But here's the thing: if it gets thrown out, what was the girl? Was her name Lindsay?
Some about the mistress.
The mistress.
Let me see.
I can't think that quick. I forgot her name, but they technically can refile. And ultimately, I would say y'all won't be able to refile this Paige in criminal court. But what's going to happen? They probably take them to civil court. But this was definitely a blunder on her attorney.
Oh no, this got to be state. This is state.
Well, no, for her, the state, but she knew that she was supposed to enter that information
in there, and she didn't say, or they forgot to put in the reporting. Whoever did it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just one of those weird. Still nigga, as Jay-Z says. And that's what happened because the police also should have investigated that and said that. But again, I'm talking to somebody's attorney. I'm thinking that they're giving me all the information, but they still should have thoroughly investigated. But when you look like us, that's not always the case.
That's true. Yeah. My Sherrone.
Speaking of niggas.
Yeah. The BAFTA Awards were this past weekend. And Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, who are both nominated for Oscars for Sinners, were up on stage. And then this happened.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making. We're here to celebrate.
Now, let me play it one more time for people.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making. We're here to celebrate.
I didn't mean to press it again for a third time. So if you did not hear it, in the background, one of the stars of the movie I Swear, which is a movie about Tourette's, shouts out nigger bitch, double timed up on it. He did a double entendre on that one. And all hell is broken loose from that. So first off, some people were saying, oh, well, you know, you have to understand that he has Tourette's. Totally get that, that he's not on that. But then things start to come out a little bit, Dom. So one of them, I believe you sent me, is the costume designer for Black Panther, who was also nominated for best wardrobe again during these awards. I'm getting to it real quick. She comes out later on and says this. She says, Hannah Belcher, the set designer for Center. So it's not the same designer. It's not the woman.
It's not Ruth.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of Ruth. But she comes out and she says, I keep trying to write about what happened at BAFTA and I can't find the words. The situation is almost impossible, but it happened 3 times last night. And one of the 3 times her name is Hannah Belcher, y'all. And one of the 3 times was directed at myself on the way to dinner after the show. And a 3rd time at a Black woman. I understand and deeply know why this is an impossible situation. I know we must handle this situation with grace and continue to push through. But what made the situation worse was the throwaway apology of if you were offended. At the end of the show, of course we were offended, but our frequency, our spiritual vibration is turned to a higher level than what happened. I am not steel. This did not bounce off me, but I exist above it. It can't take away from who I am as an artist.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
The dude, I mean, whatever with him, man. He's got Tourette's. I don't know what he's going through. I think it's just interesting to me that continually happen. Even though I know with Tourette's, supposedly your mind, one of the worst parts of your mind, or what do you think is the dirtiest things to be saying, you'll go out and say them. Now, when the issue was BAFTA actually showing that one on TV, but took out the part where somebody was protesting Israel.
Yeah.
But you keep that one. You could have took that out. You could have took that part out with him yelling in there, and you could have, because this was all taped too. So y'all, this wasn't like a live situation. This was taped. So they could have flipped it and cut out that one little part and went right to them doing their thing, or had somebody muffle the background when they were talking.
Yeah, I think.
And then an apology was bullshit though. You got a different thing in that, because if somebody would have went to go slap the shit out of him, well, you know, and not knowing that he got Tourette's, I'm just going to go slap the shit out of him.
Yeah, or if somebody would have turned around and cussed him the fuck out.
Yeah, not knowing.
Yeah,
like I mean, he's not a major actor. The gentleman isn't. He is. What is he in? He's been in. It's. I'm trying to pull it up. The movies I Swear, obviously. But I don't believe this actor has been in a whole bunch of different things for people to know who he is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's one of those interesting situations where, like I said, for them to pause and there's a delay and you can play that back, and then they have the option to cut it out versus leaving it in when you find that out. is like, did you want that discourse? And so now we have people looking at y'all crazy. And then I was coming across like many different, people talking about they worked on that show for 2 years and understanding the politics behind it and everything. So it definitely was deliberate that they did that. And it absolutely, for us, it was. And Black people and during Black History Month, but it's also that when we need to have is that global conversation surrounding racism, because it's just not here. It's a global issue that's rooted in I don't want to get us in trouble, but we know what that's rooted in. We know where that comes from, and it's a global issue. My thing is that Black bodies are always at the expense of entertainment, white entertainment for people because like you said, for you to leave in Free Palestine, to edit that out and then to leave in this, and then it happened 3 times. So you edited other parts about, but then you leave this one, and then you give a piss poor apology because the guy who said it needs to be also apologizing. If you are, it's like genuine in your apology, and then for Alan Cumming to come out and say, which I'm pissed because now I'm about to do my audition tape, fucking traitors. Because am I gonna have to cast it and then say, I wish you would have showed a little more empathy and sincerity when this happened toward your fellow colleagues when this happened. Because then if I got kicked out, I'm already cussing at everybody, say fuck y'all, I hope y'all don't win the money. And Alan Cumming, I wish you would have showed a little more empathy when you address the whole situation with that guy calling Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, my uncle, the N-word. You could have showed a little more compassion. And that's what it is. And it's like, we're just supposed to accept.
Because if we use some of those other racial slurs from other groups, it ain't gonna ride. So
it's not gonna ride. It's not gonna ride. We will be canceled.
They still getting on Michael Jackson. I seen people getting mad at Michael Jackson about the K using the K word in nobody cares about us. They didn't brought that back out.
Baby, he dead.
I know.
and I don't got no business being dead, but baby, he dead. What we gonna do? We're gonna have the estate? No, we're not doing that. Yeah. We look.
It's weird.
It's a weird thing to be in. And when we talk about Blackness and anti-Blackness and how deep that runs, I think what's frustrating is we're consistently told to get over things, to let things go, to let things slide off of our back, and we have to have poise. We have to have grace. Regarding everything that's happening around us, when we're always in survival mode, always on high alert, because we don't know what things are like when we leave outside our front door. And hell, we can't even do it inside of our house if we being, keeping it a bin, because y'all shoot through our walls. Y'all kill us, and we called you to this. Hey, this is what's happening. Now, why am I dead? You know what I mean? And so when we talk about this, situations like this, and we have to have grace for people that disrespect us consistently. And it's just baffling to me. And we have to, like I said, Black people are some of the most resilient people, but that shit gets tired. You get tired. We're tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
don't tell me, oh, I got Tourette's and I'm yelling out stuff like that. Like you said, that you thought you was thinking about something in the deepest part. They said that is so minute, like that percentage of how that like racial slurs will come out when somebody has Tourette's. Because the moment that happened, you could have said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like you could have said something else after that. And you didn't.
No, and like you said, the apology was the thing that was the real shittiest part, man.
And he need to be the main person apologizing.
Yeah, and this one the act. Yeah, BAFTA too.
Yes, and give us a better apology. But then while we talking about it, let's talk about Google doing too much. So when they I thought I sent it to you. So on the front page of Google, when it came up, it was one of those things where they when they were sharing the article about what happened or doing a write-up, it was a Deadline article. Google in the title was putting the N-word, like full on hard ER. And so Google had to apologize for also reposting Google has apologized after an AI generated news alert about the BAFTA film racial slur incident included the N-word. Yes.
Well, damn.
And so it was linked to this Deadline article. You know how Google will have that Gemini thing that'll summarize stuff. So that's what was happening.
Damn.
We are 24 days into Black History Month. And y'all just really trying to try us. And these are the spaces that we beg to be in. Beg.
You said beg to be in, not just ask, beg to be in. But it's a give and take. We got to be there to be able to crush them grass ceilings though too at the same time.
I would say and
we can do a little both. We can do a little both.
Well, at least
we need to support ours more too, though, is what I'm saying though.
Yeah, we need to. And other news,
Ryan Coogler, he's been at all our shit.
That's what I'm about to say. Ryan Coogler did win a BAFTA. He's the first African American to win a BAFTA for original screenplay. So shout out to you. Shout out to the greatness of Sinners. We're almost into a year of Sinners being out for public
consumption. Year, right?
No, it came out in April. Yeah, it came out in April, but
December. In my mind.
Nah, it was April. It left and then it kept coming back to the theaters. That's what was happening.
Okay. Yeah. April 18th. Shit. Yeah. In my mind, it said it was like November. I mean, maybe it just kept coming out.
Yeah, it just kept coming out.
All right. Next.
I'm Doja. They sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, girl.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to you know what I'm saying, everybody coming to watch though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
Your governor, Mr. Gavin Newsom, is on. He's on a pre-presidential tour. I've never seen nobody do a tour like this where they ain't announced they can run for president, but they moving around like they running for president. And he goes to Atlanta, and conservatives are so smitchy. Because at first, when I first heard this, I was like, "Dang, man!" Because they said it was in Atlanta. I'm like, "Oh, he did this." I'm just let people play it first, then we talk about
it. You know, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy. And, you know, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, you know, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. This may be the wrong business to be in. You know, my dyslexia, I haven't overcome dyslexia. I'm living with it. You know, I was the guy in the back of the classroom and my head down, just praying the teacher didn't call on me. I went through, I think I lost count of how many schools I had to go to. And, you know, I'll never ever forget. My mom's choice was never to label me. She just had to struggle with me. And I walked in, I'll never forget this. It was probably 8th or 9th grade, walking home, got home early. My mom was always working. So, I'm cooking, literally lived on Stouffer's lasagna, macaroni and cheese. I got finished, 2 pots of macaroni and cheese and got bored. And I went upstairs and there was a file cabinet open and it said Gavin. In fact, she had a weird name, Gavinsky. That was like my nickname. And I opened it up and it was all of these reports from the doctors. And I never realized I was going after school 3 days a week. I didn't know what for. And it was all around. It was the lisp and the reading, the B's and the R's were backwards, spelling which, W-I-C-H, the whole. And I like, what is this? And that's when I learned I had, quote unquote, dyslexia. My mom was furious because she didn't want that to limit me. She didn't want that to be an excuse. But it was freeing because I never understood why it was so easy for my sister and why I was struggling. But I also never, and this is the long-winded point, I also never knew how much she was struggling trying to raise me.
Oh.
All right. So conservatives have come out saying he went to a whole group of black people and said to them, I'm just like y'all. I only got a 940 in the SAT. So I'm like, damn, why would Gavin Newsom say a whole bunch of black people? Because you assume it's Atlanta, it's a whole bunch of black people. They showed who was in the crowd. 98% of the crowd was white. People forget that Atlanta has white people too.
Yeah.
And this comment was just saying in general, he was talking about his dyslexia in general, and it's all white in front of white people, and people have taken it to another level. So then keep going. As I pull up Nicki Minaj's tweet with her dumb ass. Because she's a problem now, man. Fuck her, dude. I'm
so
sorry.
sick of her.
No, like fuck her, man. Like straight up, she don't give a fuck about nothing else, man. Let her husband get out so she can get the fuck off my timeline, man. If we gonna let him off, let's let him off. At this point, because it's whack, and I shouldn't even care, but it gets into my damn zeitgeist. Then I gotta talk about her because she talking all this shit in this thing, and I don't think her dumb ass can fucking vote. You know what I mean? Like,
no, she can't.
She's
not until she's a legal citizen. She can't vote. That's the other thing that's wild about this whole. You can't vote.
So here she goes. His way of bonding with black people is to tell them how stupid he is and that he can't read. This means my first read on him was correct. He's been handed so many things and put in high positions he never earned or deserved. Do you want to know the craziest part of this footage? That they will haunt him forever. He's literally showing his speech down and talking in sporadic cadence. He's not just telling them that they're all probably stupid and probably can't read. He's literally slowing down his speech to make them understand the words that are coming out of his mouth as if they're children. That means he really believes they're slow. He's not just saying it. He didn't misspeak. He believes it. Do you love it? Do you just love it, black people? Question mark, exclamation point. That is Nicki Minaj's response. Even though, because Gavin Newsom been getting her ass too low key on some.
Oh yeah,
talking about Megan's Law for your for your husband. Can he come work? Can he go on my state? You can't even meet me to talk or something. He said like that. You can't bring your husband because there's a school close to that spot. But the whole thing is, and then Nicki got these little. I'm wondering, do they send her a thing of like, yo, you need to put out a thing like you need to do like how you do brand sponsorships? Where like you have to do 2 posts a week, 2 posts a month. I wonder if the conservatives gave her that.
I don't know. The weird thing about all of this, again, like you said, she can't vote. But when he said that I'm like you, I got a 960. I took it as if I'm just the average Joe. I didn't read that deep into it.
I didn't either. And Gavin Newsom has done some shit that I don't agree with, but this is not it right here.
Yeah, I didn't take it like that. I said I can see how one could get offended, I guess, but I took it like he was saying, I'm no better than you. I have the same struggles that, a lot of people actually have. Like, I didn't. So for her to get, how did you get that from that? But because he goes on to explain the whole thing. I'm dyslexic. I have this, this is why I struggle. My mom didn't want me to be labeled, which is a lot of parents. They, worked with me a lot. Blah, 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 blah. Girl, what? This is a weird. I'm telling you, at this point, we are in a game of The Sims, and somebody is having a fucking free for all. This is crazy. It is really weird out here. It's really weird, and I just, you can't be that. Aren't you supposed to have an album that come out next month?
No, she pushed it back. She pushed it back.
Oh, see,
we don't know a date. It's indefinite.
I go get in the booth, like Lotto said, get in the booth, bitch. Go do something else. Like, this cannot be your only experience that's happening, which is just politics. There has to be something happening in your personal life outside. Like, you're a mom. Your nigga running up your credit card with his homeboys. You had other things happening, like they found weed on your plane or something. It has to be something else that is happening in your life that makes you want to get into the booth instead of laying in the bed with Donald Trump. It just has to be. Like, since you married this man, your life has been altered because you have to operate differently because you're married to a sex offender who can't even pick your son up from school. He can't go to Disneyland or Six Flags with him, Chuck E. Cheese. What is that like for you? I've had to adjust because I love this nigga. Like, bitch, give us a love song. Go do something. Talk about you don't need no frauds. Bitch, you a fraud. I miss the days of Twitter when it was owned by Jack Dorsey, punk ass, because I'm still mad that nigga sold this shit. Where you can mute words, so it will be all these words that you can mute. Mm-hmm. And the person's nothing related to this person would show up on your timeline. I miss that that alternate reality.
Oh, that used to be awesome. I'm not going.
It used to be awesome. It was so many words and people that I had muted because I just didn't care to see it. And I always was like, oh, Instagram needs to do the same thing. But then I also realized that you are heavily deeply rooted into the Republican Party. The dude, what's his name that stole Facebook?
Oh, the Facebook owner dude. Jesus Christ, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the little Weasley looking man, white man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, but you would never do that because Instagram by now should have a feature where it's able to, you can upload certain images or something. They had it where you had certain hashtags that was muted, but that meant that if somebody used, let's say for example, Nicki Minaj. Even if it wasn't a post related to her, that wouldn't it technically wasn't supposed to show on your feed. But yeah, that was brief. But I'm like, I could upload a picture. Like, who don't you want to see? So be Donald Trump, Nicki Minaj, Melania, whatever. I could upload it. Nothing surrounding this person will show up on your timeline.
But we can't do that no more. She's gonna be out here,
I'm over it, girl. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and it's real lame. It's just lame overall. But more of anything, let's if you keep it real about the Gavin Newsom thing, they understand and know that he's a threat for whatever reason. Love, hate Gavin Newsom.
Yeah,
they know he's a threat. So they're coming up with these things like, y'all know we can research shit now. You just can't be like, well, he said it to a whole bunch of black people, and there's somebody that can be researched and who was there. And there's somebody that took a picture of the crowd because people take crowd shots for their events.
Yeah.
Why would you it just? And this actually may end up backfiring in a way of looking like hold on, it wasn't. What do you mean? Like, I ain't seen no black and his words, even if it was black people there, his words are taken out of context. Now, on the flip side, that Gavin Newsom should have known he can't be saying that if it was a whole bunch of black people, but his words are taken out of context at the same time.
Yeah, because I didn't get that.
Yeah,
I didn't get that.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to know. Nicki Minaj just don't know what she's gonna do. And she's gonna come around, and I already know how her play is gonna come back. She's gonna say that man was putting his hands on her, and she was being abused, and she got to come back, and it's gonna be like a team. Now I already know how she's gonna do it. This is how she's gonna get herself back out. She's gonna blame that boy Perry, or Petty. That boy Petty. I call him Petty. This is his last name.
I mean, that is his name.
Yeah, but she's gonna blame him to get her way back. That's the only way she can get back in is by trying to get people sympathy like that.
Baby, fuck her.
Yeah. All right. Finally, real quick before we get out of here, what is this 50 Cent T.I. thing is getting ridiculous now.
First of all, T.I. is giving us 24's T.I., okay?
Yeah, look.
I'm like, are we gonna be blasting T.I. all summer? It's been a while.
Yeah. I'm not mad at the older heads coming up, getting their
listen,
game.
They taking a page out of the Clips book, okay?
Mm-hmm. So people may not know. So people may not know T.I. and 50 Cent were supposed to be trying to do a versus. 50 Cent declines at the last minute. So T.I.'s like, dang, okay, blah, blah, blah. So 50 Cent starts going off on T.I. Putting up the Crime Stoppers thing he had to do for his probation. Then he puts up something about Tiny being like, oh, you fighting Floyd over this? And then show like this unflattering picture of Tiny that anybody can have because they do. Remember back in the day they would do it on National Enquirer and the Sun Star was like the one picture you looking around crazy and it's like, oh, that's how Daryl be looking. It's like, dude, you caught me literally turning around laughing or looking silly or something, and now I'm looking crazy anyway. And then T.I. gets upset about that, decides to drop a diss track on him. And it's kind of fire. I'm gonna see if I can play a little bit of it, but go ahead as I find it.
The interesting thing about all of this is like, we talk about rap beefs and all that stuff and certain things that are good for hip hop. I don't even know what this is and it's not good for hip hop because it's just fucking weird. Because we know 50 Cent is just a miserable old ass man. You got all of this money and you in this big ass house alone. And a lot of it is rooted in misogyny. And a lot of it is part of the male loneliness epidemic. And people crack jokes about, oh, he's just upset because, Diddy was knocking down his baby mama that he really, really cared about. Okay, well, go to therapy and talk about it and move on with your life. Because at this point, you can't be that miserable. He's like Scrooge. Like in this house, it's dark. The only light is the fireplace, and you tweeting ignorant shit from this from the living room, sitting up under the fireplace because you're so lonely. Like you're 50 Cent. You're 50 Cent, and I'm not saying, oh, you should be happy because a lot of people with money are miserable, but you have shown us that time and time again that you are miserable. Like, do you need
the track? Let's see. We got a little bit of the track. All right, that's just a little snippet of it from T.I.P. And I think 50 Cent is scared to rap again too, though. I
was going to say that because you always, you got Twitter figures.
Yeah, because Fabulous dissed them. Dave East, I believe, Mano, Jim Jones. Like, it's been people dissing them on wax. I ain't talking about like this on that, but on wax. And I ain't saying every person that disses you, but like this T.I. one, let's get in the booth 50.
Get in the booth.
He's not gonna do it. I don't think he can rap. I think he can't rap anymore.
Well, you should be able to because your pen game is supposed to be strong. Also, down to now.
Some people lose it
now. But now here's the question: do we go back and question what has previously happened? Was his music really that great? Where it was that impactful?
That first album was impactful,
but did he write it? Because I feel like
I've never heard that he didn't write his stuff.
No, but now because He probably paid his people. This is me.
No. But it's like comedians though. Like that's why Eddie Murphy, they say won't do, because he's like, dude, I ain't did it in a long time. So like after you lose that muscle, if you ain't rapping and you're not doing it, you just can't jump in there doing that.
So with comedy, it all go back to writing. I think Eddie Murphy, especially because you write movies, you never stop writing.
Yeah, they say he's funny if you just hanging out with him. Like he just has jokes.
I think it's one of those things. I don't think that he's. I would think that 50 Cent. Yes, you're.
50 Cent don't like the rap. I mean, I don't know if he loves rap like that. Number one,
That's
he may
fair.
not love rap like that.
That's fair to say.
He may love what rap got him to, but I don't know if he loves hip hop and loves rap. When the last time a G Unit artist dropped a record? Is there any artist on G Unit? Let me see.
Olivia dropped an album.
I'm talking about recently.
Oh, it's been a long time. I think G Unit is defunct.
Right. So therefore, and he's doing all this TV
which
shit.
Still don't make
nothing wrong with it. But it tends to look like he doesn't care about music anymore.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you at all on that.
Let's see. Last G Unit album. Damn, 2016.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's the last G Unit album. And that's not even an album, full album. It's a mixtape. DJ Who Kid mixtape. The Lost Flash Drive. Before that was Sincerely Yours, Southside. This is 50. So it's just a whole bunch of random other stuff in there. No, that's what I'm saying. That was a mixtape. I'm sorry. Yeah, though, like I said, that was the last mixtape. The last. I'm trying to see album wise, like who dropped.
It doesn't matter. But what does matter is that he tried to come at Tina Knowles because she posted a picture of or a video clip of Tiny. And so he in a now deleted post was just like, I don't want to do it. You know, you got the grandma coming out for these albino kids and all this stuff. So I think that's just weird when we talk about. He's in the same category as the Young Money people, how they kind of are all falling off and doing weird, crazy behavior, because all of them probably need Alexa Pro. You know, because they all, you know what I mean? It's like how
they all need Alexa Pro.
Yeah, like they really do. And it's like you need to take that pill and take a chill pill, you know, lay out and go get some sun, enjoy the fruits of your labor, your money, like, but you don't need to be online acting a fool like this or doing things to troll people, because what does it get you? And then you deleted that because you know Solange is gonna come for you.
No, that beehive is what I don't know if he's.
It's not even just the beehive. It ain't the beehive you should be worried about. It's the Solange. It's the Solange hive. I don't know what they call and I'm a Solange fan, so I don't know what we call Solange, her fan base. Because I'm halfway in. But remember when Homegirl first started talking shit and somebody photoshopped a picture of Solange with a gun? Solange changed that to her profile picture on Twitter.
Oh, just recently?
When Nicki Minaj first started talking shit.
Oh, she was uploading.
So Solange saw the tweet and changed her picture to that profile pic. I can't even talk tonight, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It's not the hive, it's Solange. Tina talks about the name of Solange's. It is not. It is Solange. You gotta work.
Oh, I seen it now though. Yeah, so it's her album cover with her with a gun. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Damn. Yeah. Damn. This is. She can't be like you can't be. And 50 is 50. You know, or AKA 50, as some people call him, like the one dude that was scared of him that kept calling him 50 in text messages. I don't know why I kept his autocorrect must have been saying 50 for whatever reason. But 50 is an interesting character overall because, like I said, he doesn't want to rap, but he wants to talk shit, which is Cool, but people talk shit. But this now T.I. is rapping, and you're talking about you have a better career than them. Let's rap. Like I said again, let's rap, or let's do his verses. Whatever we're gonna do, let's rap. You ain't got to bring his young lady, his wife into it, and his kids and things like that. Man, that stuff's rap. 50. Get in the booth.
Wait, rap. Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. I have an update.
Yep, go ahead.
On Tourette's campaigner John Davidson says he experienced multiple outbursts at the BAFTAs beyond shouting the N-word, attributing to his tics to a condition called echolalia. So there's like tiers of like different tics.
Okay. So he's like
it makes it worse. Wait, so still no apology, but he says, I'm often triggered by what I see or what I hear.
What does that mean? That makes it worse. That makes it worse.
And then making an excuse it continues. On Sunday, Alan Cumming joked about his own sexuality, and when referencing Paddington Bear, said, maybe you would like me to come home. Maybe you would like to come home with me, Paddington. It wouldn't be the first time I've taken a hairy Peruvian bear home with me. Davidson explained to Variety, this resulted in homophobic tics for me and led me to shout a pedophile that was likely triggered because of the Paddington Bears is a children's character. So they cut that out too. If he said he yelled something else out, he said call him a pedophile, Alan Cumming. They just keep getting worse and worse.
Oh my God.
All right, look, y'all, this has been another episode of Everyone Needs an Aquarius because
where can people hit you up at, man? Where can people hit you up at, man?
St. Angeles, whatever you social network, and have a new episode of Whiskey Sour. Also out with my girlfriend Gia, who just wrote a novel. I wouldn't say it's a graphic novel, but kind of like a little bit of erotica. We talk about
I peeked around and everything though.
And we speak about her journey into the world of writing a book. There's a part 2 that also will be coming out. So we explored that. My previous episode with my girlfriend Alex, which I'll be posting clips of that as well this week. And we talk about her journey also through unemployment, walking in your purpose, getting aligned, wanting to create your own space because we cannot rely on these corporate spaces. And then I will also be dropping an episode with Dom in the City, who is also another girlfriend, but also an amazing food critic in New York. Yes, New York area. I don't know if she claims St. Louis like that because Dom is not from St. Louis. She's across the bridge in from Fairview.
It's all love. When we leave,
okay. I was like,
we only gangbang like that when it's local.
Yeah, I was like,
we only talk about East Side people and vice versa. If we local, but when we leave, we all the same.
And so that's a really good episode that's coming out too. We talk about being able to juggle our day jobs and being creative. We talk about burnout, all of that. So I'm excited about that episode as well. So yeah, y'all follow me, get involved, get engaged, comment, make sure you like, subscribe, and share along. And I'll have some more. I get it from my mama coming back. Yeah, I'll be getting overwhelmed. And I'm working on that. And we, as I was talking about, they got to hustle, go harder. Yeah, that's for me too, girl. So I'm speaking to myself. And yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Everyone Needs an Aquarius, along with all the podcasts on the SOLC
and
Network.
Make sure you hit the voicemail 314-649-3113.
Y'all do enough in the comments, so I'm okay with y'all not calling.
Y'all can don't say that. We want them to call in.
Y'all do enough sometimes in the comments. I'm okay. Every time he say, "Oh, nobody called," I'm like, whew.
Look, I'm just saying, call in. I mean, we ain't gonna do. I mean, I won't play it if you talk.
I know, but it's still funny, And also, you got a question, comment, or concern? Shoot us an email. You can always email us too. To get and we will. Talk about it on air if that's what you want. Be very clear because we. But yeah.
But thank y'all for listening as always. We'll be back soon. Peace. All right.